listened to a podcast the other night, and we are going into full nerd mode. As you can see, there's a little wind today, nothing crazy. We're going to be at 40 yards, but I am a few things. One, have you guys seen the SOS system? That new thing everybody's using. I was listening to a local blow shop owner, and he uses just the Hoyt stabilizers with a little rubber on the end, and this is rigged up, but he puts a counterweight out here, and it kind of counterweights your movement and calms it down just like the SOS system. So it counteracts the movement, the weight stays in the same spot, and it helps you stay more steady. Another thing I did was loosen up this bottom limb to keep my pin float from drooping down. It actually pulls up on the bow to where your pin float rises a little bit. And so I took and did a half turn loose on my bottom limb. You can also, he talks about it in the podcast, you can also move your D-loop up some so it puts more tension on your top limb and then keeps your bow rising. So if you have that tendency to hover just below the target that you're shooting at and not be able to hit center or keep your pin from floating below it, if you're not able to bring it up in the center. No, I'm tinkering with the weights right now. I would like a back bar just to be able to control it some more. I did mess with my let off, which I have it at 85, changed it to 80, didn't really care for, not at the moment, and I put it back on 85. Let's give it a shot with the weights the way they are. I just doubled up the amount of weight I had on my old bee stinger, and I rigged this one up with an old stabilizer that I have. We'll see how it feels. So shot one. Yeah, it's noisy, but you can probably see the jiggle there. I'll move, get an angle of me actually shooting. Hopefully you can see me there. So this is 40 yards. Well, feels pretty good. My pin's not floating around too much. Let's see if you can see. Decent couple shots at 40. I'm going to keep playing around with these changes. I'm going to keep paying attention to my pin float and checking that out. And I might screw this in. It's pretty wiggly. I'm definitely not keeping it for hunting, just for testing purposes. and I might change the weights around on that. So far, what did these measure out? I think they're an ounce a piece. So technically, I have 6 ounces on here. I could find more washers and go heavier if I wanted, but it's sagging pretty good. I think it's countering pretty good. So if anything, I might go a little bit lighter. I heard it slap another arrow. I should scoot back some. Nice. Wasn't too great. So I might put an extra turn in, quarter turn in on the bottom limb, because I feel me hovering high, and in that podcast he goes into a lot more than what I'm covering right now. I've not the knowledge that he does. I'm gonna move back to 60 and see how it feels. 40 is just a little too close. I'm trying to remember the podcast so you guys can go listen to it. Missouri Outdoor, no. I'll try to find it and link it in this video. Super informative. The shop is Aerodynamics, and the owner's name is Kevin Robbins. If anyone is wondering, he's out of Missouri. Oh man, I've had a stuffy, kind of runny nose for the past few days now. It's kind of getting me. But I'm doing 75 hard with my wife. Just started that 3 days ago, and it's fun so far. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get in both the workouts. We have a pretty busy schedule, but so far so good. That's the only thing, is trying to fit in 2 45-minute workouts every day. Usually an hour's no problem for me to figure that out, but we're doing it. Yeah, I'm definitely hovering above, and I should have brought some Allen keys out here with me, but I didn't. Alright, I got an Allen key. I'm going to twist this in a quarter turn, because my pin is kind of wanting to stick high, so when I draw it back, I want to be dead in the middle of the target, not floating high, not floating low. So I'm giving it a little adjustments here and there. Instead of moving my peep around up or down, I can just adjust my limbs as I see fit, test it out, feel it. I have not adjusted the weight yet on this goofy setup, but I will get there. I like to run that down, my stabilizer on the bottom hole instead of this middle hole, because if you guys know what a plumb bob is, you're wanting to find center, and if more weight's down here below, that bow is going to want to center out a lot quicker than if it was up here in the middle. And all this weight up here doesn't help either because it's above my hand. So it's keeping the weight high. I want all this weight low so the bow levels out quicker. Let's shoot a few more now that I turn that in and see how that feels when I draw back and see if it evens out the center of the target, or if I have to pull it down, pull it up. We'll check it out. Seemed like it wanted to bob up, kind of like coming down and the target coming up. Could be me, but I'm gonna put a little bit more tension on this bottom. See if I can get that out of there. I had to take my hoodie off, it was getting too warm out. I'm going to mess with this contraption, take 2 washers off, which is just under an ounce, and then we're going to shoot it some more, see how that does. We're just going to keep tweaking it. Let's nerd out today, guys. So there's 2. So that leaves us with about 5 ounces on there. See how that does, and keep going from there. It's nice out today. Yesterday was crazy windy. It was a little chilly, just not too fun to shoot. Today and tomorrow are going to be beautiful, and then we're going to get some rain over the weekend. Okay. So let's check it out. 60 yards. Go check that out. Make some adjustments. Keep doing it. I looked up that video. It's Missouri Woods and Water Podcast, episode 307. How to Aim Better, I believe is the title. And yeah, Kevin Robbins, the owner of Aerodynamics, he's on there and he explains all this stuff that I'm trying to mess with today. This little counterweight stabilizer deal that he's been doing for years, that the SOS system mimics. And then just like, I wouldn't call it string torque, but either pulling dead center with your D loop or bringing it a little bit higher, pulling a little higher if you have that tendency to be under the target, almost like a target panic, but not. You're just steady under the target and can't seem to get your pin up dead center. So he's got little tips and tricks how to shoot better, how to shoot more accurate, consistent. And I'm just trying to get my game a little bit better, perfect it in the off season. So next year, hopefully when I pull that tag for some Western hunts, I can shoot out to 60 yards without thinking about it, without worrying. I practice regularly at 60, but I'm going to go beside the barn and get back as far as I can, really. I don't know what my limit is, and we'll see. But took some more weight off, moved the end a little bit. Actually hitting a little low, so I'm going to adjust this down just a hair. We'll see how that goes. Well, I pulled my arrow insert right out when I was getting my arrows out of the target. But that's okay, because we're about done anyhow. I have to go do my 75 hard workout and take care of other stuff for the day. So you all have a great day. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like the video, all that crap. I'll see you next time.